Please, go ahead, ma'am.
Why is it so important to you to own it when you have a military presence there, which you could expand to affect security?
Because when we own it, we defend it. Right now, we are going to do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not. We'll take over Greenland. We're not going to have Russia or China as a neighbor. I would like to make a deal, the easy way. But if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way.
The world is at the brink of a great war, and it might just start with Donald Trump taking Greenland.
U.S. President Donald Trump says his country will acquire the Danish territory of Greenland.
We need Greenland for national security and even international security.
Tensions between Denmark and the US continue to deepen.
If you want to have your country to be defended, then you need to do something about it.
No approval, no waiting for commands, no time for diplomacy. The order is clear. Shoot first and ask questions later.
Now, the reason why this is a big deal is because Greenland is an autonomous territory of Denmark, and Denmark and America both are members of NATO. NATO is a group of 32 countries including France and UK, both of them being nuclear powers. And NATO's Article 5 says that an attack on one is an attack on all.
On April 4, 1949, the North Atlantic Treaty was signed. They are sworn to stand together against aggression. An attack against one would be an attack against all.
So if the US forcefully tries to take Greenland, technically by law, Turkey, Germany, Canada, France, UK and even Poland will have to go to war against America. Now if you look at Greenland, Greenland is just a frozen wasteland. It is completely covered in snow and it has a GDP of just $3.3 billion. A nation so broke that without financial aid from Denmark, its economy would collapse overnight.
Greenland is the world's biggest island, but its population is tiny. Just 57,000 people live in this autonomous Danish territory.
The economy is dependent on two things in Greenland: fish, or more to the point, the export of fish, and also the help of the Danish government.
So the question is, why is Donald Trump risking his alliance with Europe over a poor wasteland? What is hidden beneath that snow that makes it so valuable that Donald Trump is willing to go to war for it? And if Donald Trump decides to take Greenland, can World War III actually begin? Before we move on, I would like to thank Outskill for supporting our content. People, I want you to be ahead in the AI curve. That is why I am inviting you to an exclusive 2-day live AI training program, which is happening this weekend, Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. IST. Normally, this program is priced at 10,000 rupees, but you can attend this at no cost, all thanks to Outskill. Outskill is one of the rare AI-focused education platform, which is backed by some of the most influential AI founders and investors. And across these 16 hours of live interactive training, you will gain the skills to build your personal AI toolkit with 10 plus tools already transforming industries. You will learn to automate repetitive tasks and analyze data without writing a single line of code. Eventually, you will also learn to develop AI agents and tools that give you a competitive edge in this hyper-competitive world. Over 1 lakh professionals from 40 plus countries have already attended this training because they understand that in the age of AI, staying unprepared isn't just a disadvantage, it is a risk. Whether you work in tech, policy, business or any field, this program is built for you. But remember, the seats are limited and they are filling up rapidly. So if you want to future-proof your career and understand how AI is shaping the world, this is your chance to take action. So click the link in the description, secure your spot and join the WhatsApp group to receive all updates. People, Greenland is important because of 2 reasons. Look at this map. To you and me, Greenland looks like a useless block of ice. But to the US, this is perhaps the most important strategic location to conquer. Why? Because if you look at the globe from the North Pole, it is the exact geographic midpoint between the 2 greatest nuclear rivals in history. America on one side, Russia on the other. So in simple terms, whoever owns this island controls the front door of the Western world. Now, controlling Greenland will give 2 superpowers to America. Number 1 is the trade superpower. Look at the map. For over a century, global trade has been held hostage by two major choke points, the Panama Canal and the Suez Canal. Every time someone blocked these choke points, the world came to a standstill. In fact, throughout history, you will see that either the Suez Canal is at the risk of getting blocked, or sometimes it gets blocked completely. In between, Egypt had actually blocked Suez Canal for 8 long years. And when the Suez Canal gets blocked, the ships will have to sail all around Africa just to reach Europe.
President Nasser delivering his fiery speech telling of his nationalization of the Suez Canal.
Egyptian troops would seize the offices of the Suez Canal Company.
And the vital oil supplies which are transported through it. Suez is a crisis which will push the world to the brink of nuclear catastrophe.
But Greenland holds the key to a third option, a route that shipping companies have been dreaming of for decades. This route is called the Northwest Passage. Let me explain. You see, in the world of shipping, distance means more money. So if you ship goods from London to Tokyo via Panama, you travel 23,000 kilometers. But via Suez Canal, it's 21,000 kilometers. But you know what? Through the Northwest Passage, that distance comes down to just 16,000 kilometers. That is a saving of 7,000 kilometers. So it also reduces 2 full weeks from the journey itself. And when you save 2 weeks of fuel and crew wages, you end up saving millions of dollars per voyage. And if you look at the map, Greenland is the gatekeeper of this route. So for any ship to enter this passage from the Atlantic or the Arctic, it must pass through Baffin Bay and Davis Strait. And Greenland sits right next to it. So if America ends up controlling Greenland, it will effectively control the entry point of the next valuable trade route on Earth. So do you see the bigger picture now? Donald Trump wants to buy Greenland because he knows that whoever owns Greenland will own the toll booth to the future of global trade. And if the first reason was about trade, the second reason is about survival. If you look at the map again, Greenland is around 2,700 to 3,000 kilometers from New York and around 4,650 kilometers from Moscow. Now, why does this distance matter? If a missile is launched from Russia over the North Pole, the radars in Greenland can actually detect it. Therefore, Greenland effectively acts as America's early warning system, giving the US military 15 to 20 minutes of extra warning time. Now, 15 minutes might sound very small to you and me, but in nuclear defense, 15 minutes could be the difference between intercepting a missile and New York being wiped off the map. Now you might ask, why this can be done with a strategic partnership also, na? Then why buy the whole island? Well, that is because Greenland is also a geological treasure chest. If you look at the last 50 years of US foreign policy, you will see a common pattern. Whether it is changes in regime in the Middle East or friendships in the Gulf, the US government always follows one resource, which is oil. And this is where we realize something absolutely shocking about Greenland. Greenland, as it turns out, is an energy jackpot. The US Geological Survey estimates that the Arctic holds 13% of the world's undiscovered oil and 30% of its natural gas. We are talking about Greenland having 31 billion barrels of oil, which is equal to US entire volume of proven crude oil reserves. So in the eyes of Washington, Greenland is the next Saudi Arabia. And if you think that's enough, there's actually another layer to it. As it turns out, experts say that wars will not just be fought over oil, they might also be fought over technology. And this is where, again, Greenland holds the ultimate card. This card is called the rare earth monopoly. Look at the Quanerfield deposit. Experts estimate that this single site alone holds 6.6 million tons of rare earth oxides. And these rare earth elements are critical to build electrical vehicles, wind turbines, and even F-35 fighter jets. So hidden under that ice is an asset that's worth more than a G20 economy itself. And the list doesn't stop there. It also has 85 million tons of zinc and lead, 1 to 2 billion tons of iron ore, and 593 million pounds of uranium, and even rubies and sapphires of gem quality. In fact, according to the 2025 database, there are 3,000 mineral sites on the island. This is the reason why superpowers are fighting over Greenland. But here's the obvious question. If Greenland is sitting on $4.4 trillion of wealth, that is higher than the entire GDP of India, Japan, UK and France, then why isn't the island as rich as Saudi Arabia? Why is it still dependent on Denmark? Well, the answer is pretty simple. Access. For centuries, Greenland was a frozen asset. You couldn't mine the gold because it was buried under kilometers of ice. You couldn't sail the ships because the water was frozen solid. But now, due to climate change, something crazy is happening. While some see it as a crisis, superpowers see it as a business opportunity. Look at the data. The Arctic is warming 4 times faster than the rest of the planet. Greenland alone is currently losing 30 million tons of ice per hour. In 1 year, it sheds 234 billion tons of ice, which is enough to fill the entire Empire State Building 6,324 times. And look at this. This is how ice is melting in Greenland. Firstly, as the ice recedes, the mines become accessible for drilling. Secondly, the frozen Northwest Passage turns into a cruisable highway where ships can sail without going through the Panama or the Suez canals. So climate change is practically escalating a conflict between Russia and America, which might very well be the root cause of World War III. So, will America just attack and take Greenland? No, it's not that simple. Why? Because America doesn't have to. Greenland is a self-governing territory within the administrative division of the Kingdom of Denmark. So under the 2009 Self-Government Act, Greenlanders are recognized as distinct people with the right to self-determination. So while Greenland controls their police, courts and natural resources, Denmark still controls foreign policy, defense and the monetary policy. And every year, Denmark sends roughly $600 million to Greenland, which covers about 50% of Greenland's entire government budget. Without this money, their economy could collapse overnight. So what Trump can do is approach the local Greenlandic government and say that if you declare independence from Denmark, you will lose your $600 million of annual subsidy, but we will replace that with $1 billion a year plus investment in airports, mining and tourism. So in the ideal world, Greenland might hold a referendum. They might then vote to leave Denmark and join the US. And once independent Greenland signs a treaty with the US where Greenland remains sovereign on paper, the US will get exclusive military access and responsibility for their defense. So the US can practically own Greenland without ever having to buy it. But this is an ideal situation. In the non-ideal situation, Trump could do anything from imposing tariffs on Denmark to a full-scale invasion. And if the invasion happens, either Europe will have to gather the courage to stop US, or Russia and China might step in to stop US, or US might simply walk away with no harm at all. This is the reason why we say that the world is at the brink of a great war. And I just pray to God that the war never happens. That's all from my side for today, guys. If you learned something valuable, please make sure to hit the like button in order to support our work. And for more such insightful business and geopolitical case studies, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.